Yo, what is going on? You burnt to a crisp blissful. Today, we're playing some games with Whale Lord V. And if you've been following me for a little while here on the YouTube channel, or you check out the live stream, twitch.tv/AzulGG, first link in the description. Give it a click, give it a follow. I stream every day, except Tuesdays. I love playing some Whale Lord V. So it's got 280 HP. The first attack is Drop, which allows us to attach up to 3 water energy cards from our discard pile to the Whale Lord for 1 water energy. We use that now and then. It does come up pretty often, actually. But our main attack with the Whale Lord V is the Ocean Waves, which for water, we flip 3 coins, and then for each heads, we do 120 damage. So we can do 360 damage, which one-hit KOs pretty much every single VMAX that is currently being competitively played in the format. So, that's just a pretty good attack to have. And sure, it's flipping coins, but we also play the Glimwood Tangle. That allows us to reflip any coins we flipped during an attack if we want to. We get the option to just do the reflip. So if we hit 0 heads, we can reflip those, all 3 of the coins, and then hit 3 heads. So the Glimwood Tangle adds a ton of consistency to us, making sure we do damage consistently, turn in and turn out and so on. Sometimes we get big one-hit KOs. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we do have to settle for, just getting 1 or 2 heads on the turn, but that's enough to set up a 2-hit KO and still puts us in a pretty good spot, especially when we have, like I mentioned, 280 HP, becoming 330 with a cape of toughness. We're not getting KO'd very quickly ourselves, and we're only worth 2 prize cards, whereas VMAXs are worth 3. So yeah, there's a lot of ups and good reasons that Whale Lord works, especially in the current meta, even with the sniping decks going around, because we do have to play Frostmoth. So we got 4 Snom, 3 Frostmoth in here to set up enough energy on our Whale Lords. Even with all the sniping decks running around, once we get that first Whale Lord set up, it doesn't really matter if they KO our Frostmoth, because that Whale Lord is online swinging for so much damage that's kind of what they have to deal with next. And the rest of the deck, I've got 3 Crobat in here, very Crobat heavy. This is the most Crobat I think I've played in a deck besides Eternatus this format. But yeah, the Crobats are super sick and helping us aggressively try and set up a turn 2 Whale Lord, because that's what we're going for. We're trying to attack with a Whale Lord on turn 2. I tried some other stuff like a Rangaroo in here and stuff, but it didn't feel quite as good. So we got 10 water energy, a couple buckets in here, or as many buckets as we can have for Capacious Bucket in here. So we've got to get that water energy for our Frostmoth onto our Whale Lord. Then usual suspects in the draw supporters: Marty, Research, Boss. We got 4 Quick Ball, 3 Level Ball for our Pokemon Search. I was trying out Great Balls for a little bit, but they didn't feel quite as good. We really want to more aggressively find the Frostmoth pieces, so I went back to Level Balls, currently sitting at 3 of them. I cut the 4th one for a 4th bucket, because with how consistently the Level Balls find the Frostmoth pieces and how many Frostmoth pieces we play a 4th free Frostmoth, which is, that's a decent amount of Frostmoth stuff in the deck. Yeah, I felt like 3 Level Ball was enough, and it's been working pretty good so far. We got some Switch cards in here, a couple Switch, or 4 Switch, and an Air Balloon. And then 1 Tool Scrapper to help out against those Capes of Toughness, on like Zacians and Suicunes and stuff. That way we only have to get 2 heads on the Ocean Waves to KO something like a Zacian or a Suicune. We don't have to get the triple heads there or 2-hit KO it, which wouldn't be quite as good. So we play a Scrapper in here to help out with those. And yeah, that's the list. Let's go ahead. Let's play some Whale Lord V. And yeah, let's hopefully get some triple heads. All right, here we go. Getting into our first one, we would like to go first, try and set up that turn 2 Whale Lord V attack. Our opening hand it's okay, I guess. Nothing too great. We got a Quick Ball. Did get a mulligan from our opponent, so maybe we'll be able to find a Whale Lord or a Frostmoth. And depending on what they're playing, looks like we're up against Victini here, so a very good matchup off the start here. I actually almost lost to one of these the other day on the stream, though. I did almost lose to a Victini VMAX the other day. The flips were not with me there, but hopefully they're with me now. Oof, no. Still pretty good hand, though, I feel like, overall. Can go with an attach to the active. Quick Ball away. One of the Research. Grab myself that Snom. Throw that down and just go ahead and pass, I guess. We could even just go with a drop on the next turn. We could just go get 2 water with the bucket, research it away, put the Glimwood Tangle in play, and then just drop, put the energy on it, because we're not afraid of getting knocked out by the Victini VMAX on the next turn, because Victini VMAX has 220, which normally knocks out pretty much any single V in the format, but Whale Lord V with the 280 does survive that hit, and then we can look to swing on our next turn and get the knockout. But who knows? Maybe we'll top deck something that allows us to get into get the Whale Lord V to the bench, or a top deck a Whale Lord V. Then we can go put out the Glimwood Tangle, Crobat for 3, maybe a Frostmoth, bucket some energy onto the Whale Lord, get another energy switch into it, and then get an energy off the Research, and who knows, maybe we get to attack with a Whale Lord next turn. But even if we don't, we're still not in a bad spot, so I don't mind us whiffing the attack this turn, to be honest. Not that big of a deal, especially when we have this draw play so easily set up in the current hand. Just do that draw. Also is just fine here. I'm not afraid of energy burst, right? I don't think I am. Ooh, another Marnie top deck. That's a lot of supporters to see hit the discard pile here on this turn 1. Oh, only 3 supporters left. I don't like it, but I think I'm going to go with it anyways. Yeah, I hate to see this many supporters hit the discard pile on the second turn, I guess. Not turn 1, turn 2. Hate to see it, but I think we'll be okay. Go ahead and get a Frostmoth out as well. We actually almost got the attack here. We're actually an energy short. So if I had attached one of these energies, I would have been able to do it. But hey, let's see if I have 4 energy here and they have 3. It's only 7, so they're not quite enough. Yeah, so then we should go attach and then draw up, get 2 more. And now we got a Wailord set up for the next turn. Yeah, the drop is actually pretty good. We use it a decent amount of the time, actually. Especially when we go second. We did go first in this game, but we weren't able to just pull off the turn 2. I used to choose to go second as Wailord and then go for a turn 1 drop, but I feel like that has become worse in the current format. So I've been choosing to go first and try and get off a turn 2 attack. And even if we don't, we're about in the same spot we would be in if we chose to go second. So it doesn't really hurt us too much to be going second. So now at this point, we should look to set up more Wailords. I actually might even Frostmoth and energy to the Snom just to kind of put that there to have that as a pivot through the Snom. We'll see. Here's a Marnie from my opponent, though, so we're going to lose this hand. I liked the hand as well. I didn't even mind like researching away the 2 switch there, to be honest. That wasn't even that big of a deal. Quick Ball, Crobat, couple energy. As long as they don't get a... Oh, Crushing Hammer. There's a heads. Oh, no. If they get another Crushing Hammer here, we could be in trouble. But if they don't, I think we're in a good spot. As long as we top deck something that we're definitely comfortable quick balling away, it's a really good hand. And if they don't put Path to the Peak in play, that's what I was thinking about before they play the Crushing Hammer. If they don't put a Path to the Peak in play, I think we're in a great spot. No Path to the Peak. All right, we're chilling. Let's get this knockout. Ooh, it's a research top deck. Well, now we can give up the Crobat instead, I guess. Grab ourselves another whale. Boom. Throw some more energy down and then play the research. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some capes. Oh no, I didn't put energy on my active. I have completely thrown almost here. That was so bad. I did not put an energy on. I'm actually gonna quick ball. I kind of want to keep the switch and the research. I should have put one of those. I thought I just had enough. I completely forgot that they got a Crushing Hammer heads. That's right. We still have a Crobat. I want to keep the switch and the research though. So we should hopefully hit an energy here. And I've been fully punished. Well, what do you know? Love to see it, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and switch into this Wailord V and just use drop for the turn. Yeah, I completely blanked on the fact that my opponent Crushing Hammered me and I needed an energy on this one. I was like, okay, this one's set up to go. Let's just set up a fresh Wailord and we're just going to keep cruising from there. No, my opponent hit Crushing Hammer heads. I need to get an energy back on this one. It's all right, though. We're still in a fine spot. Here comes a boss from my opponent. That's also fine. Not too worried about it. Kind of stinks up with the energy off the Crobat. We had a lot of outs in there, too. We had the Retrieval, 3 Bucket, and 4 Water, I think. So there was a lot of outs, actually, in there to get another whale set up. We have this research, though, so now it should be no problem. There's a Retrieval. There we go. And I think I'm just going to hold the hand from here. I will burn this level ball, which I probably should have done on the last turn, to be honest. Because I just don't need it anymore. So throwing energy here can also... I might hold on to this one, though. They do play Crushing Hammer, so... We might want to be able to play around that. 2 heads. Hey, 3 heads. Why not? Not quite where we want to be getting our 3 heads up against a Victini VMAX, where we only need 2. But, yeah, 720. Get them out of here. Get our 3 prize cards. A turn later than we probably should have. But once again, you know, we're fine. Crushing Hammer, it's a thing. Got to remember it. But for the current situation, I think we're still in a great spot. And I don't see us losing this one at all. I think we got this one still pretty much locked up. I actually could have benched one of these Snoms last turn. Wait, did I have a Snom in my hand last turn? I think I did. Because like I don't need this bench race for anything else, I don't think. And if I do need to put another Wailord in play, one of my Wailords will get knocked out by then, so I'll have room anyways. Got the Glimwood Tangle and a energy, just in case they get a Crushing Hammer heads, which here comes that Crushing Hammer. It is a tail, so we're good. We got the Glimwood Tangle, though, which is a big deal to make sure we can get that reflip. We only need 1 heads. If this stays a Victini V, we only need 1 heads. Wait, even with the energy? Yeah, even with the... Oh, wait, they got the VMAX, so we do need 2 heads now. Now we do need 2 heads, but it's with the reflip, that should be pretty reasonable. I'm not too worried about it. And if not, we just need to set up another whale to clean it up at the end. But we'll see what our top deck is. We are like low on draw supporters, and we're out of Crobats, so we don't have much draw power left in the deck, actually, to be honest. Glimwood Tangle. I'm going to throw all this energy on this Wailord here. Just in case. So, like, if I whiff the knockout and they knock me out, I want to be able to send up the Wailord and just hope to top deck an energy here. So here we go. Ocean Waves. Let's get 2 heads real fast. No problem. No problem. Almost a triple again. No reflip. We're just going to take the knockout. And yeah, pretty easy dub here in this first one over the Victini VMAX. Of course, that is to be a little bit expected when you got the typing advantage. But yeah, so far, so good. All right, into another one. We did win the coin flip, so we are going first. I'm still actually not sold on going first with this deck. Like I mentioned in the last one, like I was choosing to go second with this deck the last time I played it. It was a couple formats ago. But it definitely seems like there's still probably some viability to choosing to go second. We're up against Ray here, it looks like, which should be an interesting matchup. Actually, I have no idea if it's going to be good or bad or other. They are mulliganing, which is good for us. I'll tell you that much. That's definitely good that our opponent is giving us some extra cards to work with. Do we need to find like another whale? That's like the number one thing I'm looking for here. Another whale lord. And they probably won't be Marnieing us, which is another thing to kind of play off of a little bit. They're probably not going to be Marnieing us at all. I think about how I want to play this hand. I do want to Crobat here. I'm probably going to quick ball away the Tool Scrapper. We did prize a couple Snom. I'm probably going to grab a Snom. I kind of want to switch into the Snom, attach the Cape, attach the Water. And I want to Crobat this turn because I want to be able to Crobat next turn. We really, like I said, we really aggressively want to try and set up a turn 2 attack. And we're in a pretty good spot to be able to pull that off right now. It looks like I don't think they can donk my Snom. I was like, do I really want to leave my lone Snom in the active? I think it's fine. I don't think they can knock it out. I think it's fine to leave there in the active. We'll see for sure here soon, though. We'll see if there's anything my opponent can do. If they get it, they get it. We're gonna have to work from there, but I'm pretty sure my Snom is safe. Like I said, we're probably playing Ray. We saw the Mareeps are out. There's the Ray, so it is the Ray VMAX deck. Let's see if we can't get off turn an attack here this turn. My opponent did not really play anything, so we're not going to play Marnie. Because I could just have like a dead hand. We don't want to play Marnie if they have a dead hand. Frostmoth, a lot of energy. No way to actually... A lot of energy. Holy smokes. We can't actually attack this turn, though. I could just load up a bunch of energy and play on a couple whales. The thing is that I won't be able to retreat the Frostmoth next turn. So I think I just want to wait a turn here. I'm going to thin out the deck of all the energy to increase my odds of top decking something better. Because once again, I don't think they're going to play Marnie. I'm just going to go ahead and pass. And we can like hard retreat the Crobat next turn. So like if they get the KO on this Snom, we can go, send up Crobat, evolve the Frostmoth, attach the Crobat, load a bunch of energy on the bench, retreat the Crobat, attack. But we can't, if we evolve the Frostmoth in the active, we could load a bunch of energy into play, then we can't move the Frostmoth. So, and then the next turn, I still wouldn't be able to move my Frostmoth either. So it would still be stuck. And then it could potentially give my opponent that much more time to work with. Looks like it would have been pretty good if we had been able to KO one of these Flaffy, but still dead drawing from my opponent. Okay. That's exactly what we want to see, to be honest. Bucket again, last 2 water out of the deck. Fully thinned out the water energy. Now we can't top deck those. Attached to the active. Let's load up some whales. Let's load up some whales. Take the knockout on this Flaffy. And one here. And I think I will hold... I mean, I guess we will end up having 1 water energy in hand no matter what. So loaded them up. No more. We do have 1 more. We're not going to use it, though. And then let's go ahead and attack. We just need 1 heads to get the knockout here. Oh, no. All right. Well, sometimes you get all tails and don't have a Glimwood in play, and then that happens. So hopefully... later in the game, maybe he gets made up for. Let's see if my opponent has top decked here. A 3rd Flaffy online. Do they have any kind of draw support, though? It looks like the answer is no, because I'm pretty sure they would have probably top decked this Ray V. That's probably their top deck, because otherwise they would have played it down last turn, because it makes no sense to have not played it down. All right. Back over to the Ocean Waves. Give me some heads. All right, there we go. 2 heads, 3 heads. Okay, we're going at 50-50 on our Whale Lord flips still. That's all we really want. 50-50 is good enough. Well, maybe sometimes we want to get a little bit luckier than that, but to start off with, 50-50 will be good enough. There we go. Evolution Incense. So here comes the Ray VMAX from my opponent. So they're back in it. They were definitely in a rough spot before. Definitely still in the game, though. They still have to be a pretty good 3 cards. I mean, if they just draw no draw supporter or no new Ray VMAX, they're going to be in trouble. Failed, actually, on the Stormy Mountains. So that means their 4th Mareep is prized. Yeah, that means their 4th Mareep's prized. Or they didn't even get another Ray, which is interesting because they could have just put another Ray down there. Maybe want to leave the bench space open for something else. Didn't use the Evolution Incense for another Ray VMAX either. Definitely a slip up for my opponent there. So a couple mistakes, I think, coming in here for my opponent. Not gonna lie, I think they made a couple errors here. Could have put themselves in a better spot. We'll still see if they're able to do anything this turn. I don't know if they can get the knockout. What does this do again? How much damage does it do? I don't think they can quite get the knockout on my Whale Lord this turn. They're gonna be a little bit short. So yeah, Whale Lord's surviving. I'm almost positive here. Whale Lord will be living till the next turn, where we'll get another swing off with the Ocean Waves. And on the next turn, that's when they could start to maybe make some attacks happen. Yeah, see, the Ray V comes down anyways. They could have Stormy Mountains it out and then drawn into like a different card. So if you're going to bench it anyways and you draw into it, you may as well bench it immediately or as soon as you can. This card of Stormy Mountains, not a Lightning Energy, so no Lightning Energy in play still from my opponent. They get a Cricket soon, but currently that's not even going to draw them any cards unless they can get it into the active. They might be able to draw 1 or 2 with that. They do need to find some energy, that is for sure. Very dry as far as energy goes so far. 0 lightning in the discard pile, and they just quick ball and didn't discard a lightning, which I'm sure they would have had they had the chance. A Ray VMAX getting discarded as well. They could have evolved that on the active. I don't know why they're going out of their way to so much to not evolve this. They're going with the Crow, but they could have evolved their active Ray. They didn't just bench this. No, they could evolve this active Ray V. They're just like actively choosing not to, which I just don't understand. End up going with the Crobat, Air Balloon to the Ray V. Are they just gonna retreat it? Another lightning down to the Rayquaza VMAX, but that means they're not attacking this turn because they didn't attach a fire for turn. Yeah, run to the Crobat and pass. Sounds good to me. Top deck is a retrieval, so we're kind of just waiting to set up this next whale, but I'm not going to put it in play yet because then it's a target they get boss up and try and trap for a little while. So we're just going to leave it in the hand. Let's see how the flips go this time around. Triple tails again. Does that mean we get triple heads next turn? Is that how this is going to go? Another triple tails. So really, we're kind of keeping my opponent in the game on this one so far. All these tails on the Whale Lords really is keeping my opponent in the game. And they should be able to get the one-hit KO this turn on us. They can. I guess it's not guaranteed. They need, what, 2 more lightning energy. Because 3 isn't quite enough. They do need 4. They need to get 4 lightning energy to KO us. I actually don't even think our capes make a difference in this matchup. Because they're going to be doing... what is it, 260, right? 260 up to 340. So my cape doesn't really make a difference in this matchup, whether or not I have it. I guess I could stop something like, 40 damage from like a Dragon Pulse cleaning me up. But overall, not going to make a huge deal, I don't think. But let's see if they actually are able to pull off the knockout to begin with here. They still need to get 2 lightning energy and then also get them into the discard pile, which isn't a huge problem. I guess finding them initially is going to be the problem, maybe. Immediately switches into the Ray, though, so now it's in the active. I don't think... oh, they're going with a boss here, chasing my Crobat, just taking a 2-prize knockout. Okay, that's definitely reasonable, because they're just going to have to knock out 3 2-prizers anyways. Just going with the Crobat KO here definitely makes sense. Just take those 2 prize cards, and then next turn, gonna have to work for the bigger knockouts. But they do have to start building up some kind of energy in place somewhere. They definitely have to start building up energy on, like, another Ray here, then. Otherwise they're going to be in trouble. They do need to start, no energy built up on another Ray, which means now they just won't be able to KO this Whale Lord next turn. The max they can get in play is 3 lightning energy. So this Whale Lord will be surviving. And with how many tails we've been getting this game, we're going to need as many turns as possible, I feel like, to make up for that. Okay, we did top deck a Marnie, which I'm probably down to use. I almost want to bench this Snom as well. I think I'm going to go for that. Go for a Marnie. We want to find a stadium here, and they're pretty low on stadiums, actually. They're down 3 Stormy Mountains. They probably play 3 to 4. So if we can find a stadium, it might just stick for the rest of the game, which would be great. We don't find the stadium there. Got a Moth, a Cape. But that means our stadiums are that much closer to us, right? We Marnied then. Didn't hit them. Ocean Waves. Who knows? Maybe we get 3 heads anyways. Nope. Gonna have to settle for 1. Still set up pretty well into the 2-hit KO range. So even though we only did 120 damage on the VMAX here, if we get a Glimwood Tangle in play next turn, there's a pretty good chance we'll get the 2-hit KO on this Rayquaza if it stays in the active here. And I guess I could have quick balled for Crobat, but I don't really want to give my opponent more outs to kind of chase 2 prizers like they did with that last Crobat. I don't really want to give my opponent that kind of out, so I don't want to put another Crobat in play until maybe the end of the game, towards the end of the game here. Yeah, I don't want to really put another Crobat in play yet. Might make its way to play eventually, but not quite right yet. I don't think I want to make that play. Energy Search coming down from my opponent. Will it be able to get that, get another energy into the discard pile here off of the the Azure Pulse at the very least, which means they'll finally start to be able to use this Flaffy here. Yeah, there's the Azure Pulse. The Dynamotors will finally be able to be used. Actually, they had the energy in there from the last turn, so they're actually just aggressively thinning out energy there. Finally be able to use Flaffy though for my opponent. But the thing is, they only have 2 in play. They don't have bench space to even like set up another Mareep this turn. They will be able to get triple lightning onto the Rayquaza VMAX, but like I said, that doesn't actually get my opponent the KO here on the Whale Lord. The Whale Lord a little bit too tanky for a V for the Ray for the 3. They need the 4 like they would need against a VMAX. So maybe they'll just be leaving this Ray V in the active here and hoping I whiff. Another play they could do would be to retreat to a Flaffy, actually, to be honest, and put that in the active, because me taking a 1 prize knockout doesn't really work super cleanly into my prize exchange. Because if I knock out a 1 prize, I go down to 4 prizes, which means I still need to take 2 knockouts. Even if one of them is a VMAX, I still have that 1 prize card remaining. And even if that means like a boss chase a Flaffy, that means I'm still like 1 more. I have to play the game for 1 more turn, which means it gives my opponent 1 more turn, like guaranteed, if I don't have a boss this turn to get around the Flaffy. So it does mean there's no longer a Flaffy setup though. So that's like 1 less guaranteed way to accelerate energy into play on the next turn from my opponent. So there is that drawback there. There's no Flaffy in play on the next turn guaranteed. But the Ray VMAX is set up. They're setting up another Ray, so they're definitely not going for a 1-hit KO here. Or they just can't. I guess they never could. Will they hit me though, I guess is the question. They could still hit me for, what would they be doing? 180 damage. So that would, set up a pretty clean 2-hit KO. So they could still hit me for 180 here. I don't know if they're going to take that route though. We'll see. Or if they're just gonna wait. Yeah, run to the Crobat. So they're not going for that route at all. They're instead gonna run to the Crobat to give me a chance to just get a KO here potentially. Gonna play this level ball, thin out that last. Okay, our last Frostmoth is prized. I'm just going Marnie. Try and find. Ooh, I shouldn't have shuffled my deck actually. I should have just played the Marnie because now it's less likely. Yep, and we whiffed the Glimwood Tangle. I shouldn't have played the level ball there because I did shuffle my deck, and all the cards on the bottom of my deck were not Glimwood Tangle. So here we go again with another Ocean Waves and another single heads. The Glimwood Tangle usually helps us out a ton in these scenarios to kind of smooth things out and get us those double heads. No Glimwood Tangle leads to just 120 damage, and now I actually feel like we're in the losing side of this game. I feel like we're actually gonna maybe lose this one from here. It felt like we were in such a good spot. My opponent was dead drawing, but the Ocean Waves are not on our side, and we can't find our Glimwood Tangles, so we're in a little bit of trouble. But I really only have myself to blame on that last one there. I shouldn't have played the level ball. Like I said, it shuffled my deck in a way that then actually set it up so that I had like less chance to hit a Glimwood Tangle that turn. Also could have maybe benched that other Whale Lord as well. It'd be nice to get another Whale. It would have been nice actually with my current hand to definitely have another Whale Lord in play. All right, we should be able to get the knockout here. I'm gonna play the research. I'm gonna find that Glimwood Tangle. I wouldn't mind setting up another Whale Lord, but it's probably not going to be relevant. They have 2 prize cards left. The question is just, will they be able to set up this last Ray to get the knockout? Actually, we might be fine on that as well. I'm losing 2 switch, but how many switch cards do I have left? 1 air balloon. So that is a little bit scary. And knowing we don't need anything else set up to attack, I'm actually going to attach some of these energies in play here onto my Frostmoth. So make sure my opponent can't like do some kind of last, like just boss try and stall a moth in the active or something like that. No Glimwood Tangle. Oh no. Do I go to try and get the double heads? I'm sure there's Glimwood Tangles in here. Yeah, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them in the last 9 cards of my deck. Wow. Kind of unfortunate, not gonna lie. That one stinks. So what do we do here? We could Crobat, but then if we put the Crobat in play, it makes it more likely my opponent can get the knockout to win on the next turn. If I don't put Crobat in play, I'm living off of trying to get 2 heads or 3 heads. I mean, 3 heads would also work. We're almost guaranteed a Glimwood Tangle if we do use Crobat here, but not 100%. Oh no, this feels really bad. If I put the Crobat in play, then all of a sudden my opponent can win through boss. How many boss are they down? Only 1. They're down 3 fire energy as well though. So maybe they just don't even have the fire energy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just can't put it together. I think I'm going to go for the Glimwood Tangle here. So I'm going to play the Retrieval, get to water, throw the air balloon on. Actually, I almost want to make sure I can retreat my Crobat as well. So I should maybe keep the air balloon for the Crobat. So we're going to Crobat for 1 less, but we're still very likely to get the Glimwood here. And there it is. A little bit late, but better late than never, I want to say here. I'm gonna go ahead and quick ball away the quick ball. Don't need those really anymore. Gonna grab the Whale Lord or the Crobat. I'm gonna grab the Whale Lord. Hold the air balloon. We can put it on the Crobat if they try and boss stall. And Ocean Waves. Let's get 2 heads here. Okay, but we get the reflip now from the Glimwood. So let's get 2 heads this time around. And the Glimwood, that's what the Glimwood does. It gets us those 2 heads pretty consistently when we need them. And sometimes even gets us into those 3 heads. We get the 2 heads. Unfortunately, we had to put a Crobat in play. Yeah, pretty unfortunate draw there on the research. Okay, research here. We have 3 Glimwood left. Should hit one. Don't hit one. Now we're in a little bit of trouble. If my opponent has the boss for the Crobat, I mean, they need what? Fire Energy, VMAX. And actually, our last boss is prized ourselves. So if they actually even just run to a Flaffy this turn, we can't win on this turn because our second boss, it wasn't in the deck. Our deck is just Crobat and 2 Glimwood Tangles. So yeah, we can't. If my opponent retreats to Flaffy here, we just lose the game. So it's also possible they just get the knockout here with like a Rose or something, and then we would also lose. Man, we were in such a good spot in this one from the beginning. The Ocean Waves and the Glimwood Tangles really let us down overall. But like I said, they are down 3 fire energy. So I feel like it is possible my opponent is just out of fire. I don't know how many people are running in Rayquaza decks these days. I haven't seen a Rayquaza deck in a while. I was playing 3 fire, but they also have the energy search as well, which that's also kind of like is like a pseudo fire energy. It's not actually a fire energy, but it's another out to fire energy. So that usually cuts into how many fire energy you actually play, because it can become a lightning or a fire. So it kind of is, can do both. So I'm very curious to see here if my opponent actually has any more fire energy. Maybe they have another ordinary rod. That could be the play they have to look for here. They're only down 1. They could definitely be playing 2. They could be down an ordinary rod, and they might need that to recover the fires, and then they have to find the fires though. So it's a little bit more that they have to do to make that work. But like I said, they can always just retreat to a Flaffy if they need to buy time here. They can retreat to Flaffy, and I have to KO that. I guess then I can still get the win on the following turn, but without boss's orders, it's definitely going to be a little bit more difficult to close this one out. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they got it. Like I said, they could also just have the win this turn, a Rose or a Fire Energy. Actually, would they be short by a Fire? I think a Fire Energy wouldn't quite cut it for my opponent here. I don't think the Fire Energy would quite be enough because they've done Dynamotor, attach a Fire. Yeah, they can't KO my active, actually. They could KO my Crobat, right? If they have Boss plus the Fire, they could KO my Crobat. That would still work for them. And they are digging through their deck, so this makes me think that they have an out here. Here comes an Energy Search. Do they have another Fire? So 2 Energy Search in the list as well. Definitely makes me think they probably only play 3 fire, but we'll wait and see here. They do play 4 fire, so the fire is grabbed. They're gonna put it on the Rayquaza. Here comes a level ball, and then they have access to the Azure Pulse. They're thinning out the Flaffy. The Azure Pulse is on the way, I'm sure now. And then is it for them to find boss at Rose? They have the boss the whole time, so that's gonna do it. They get the KO on the Crobat, something I really didn't want to put in play, and I could have not put it in play as well, right? Like I mentioned, I could have not put Crobat in play and done that, but I ended up putting it in play, and my opponent gets the boss play. So we ended up losing to the Rayquaza. We had a really good start. The Ocean Waves definitely let us down in this one. All right, here we go again. We do have to make a choice here. We are going second, so I think I will open the Whale Lord V. That way we can use drop turn 1. Or that's going to be the plan, right? Turn 1 drop, get some energy on there. Hopefully 2. Hopefully we can find a way to discard another energy. We have this way to discard this one. And like another Victini deck. All right, let's go ahead and bop Victini once again. Another free dub here, as long as I don't throw or anything like that. Okay, the hand has gotten a little bit worse, to be honest. It's just a lot more cards that we can't play. I guess it's just 1 with their energy retrieval, but it's another 1 more card we can't play, which is pretty annoying when we're trying to use Crobat to draw cards. But maybe we just play it a little bit slower now. Yeah, sheesh. Well, our hand keeps getting worse and worse. So we're gonna bench the Snom. I do want to get another Snom down, otherwise my opponent can boss KO Snom. We can't get into an attack on the following turn, but because it's such a good matchup, maybe it's okay if we play it a little bit slower as well. We could attach the Whale Lord, so we could actually go attach the Whale Lord, quick ball this, grab Crobat, attach the cape, scrap our own cape, because like I mentioned last time we played against Victini, capes don't really matter too much. And then get 3 cards, another cape, and then we can go with the Marnie here. I could have hold on to the Frostmoth there, but I think we want to be a little bit more aggressive and find some more cards. And we could potentially find, not quite, we could have found a good draw play. This hand is actually not very good at all. Gonna go ahead and drop for 1. doesn't have a lot going with it. Even if we like top deck a Frostmoth here, we don't have a Whale Lord to go with that to put all this energy in play on. So we're gonna lose a lot of energy here, which means we might have to go for a drop, another drop down the line. Yeah, I don't like this hand. I don't like this hand at all. And here's some Crushing Hammers to make me like this hand even less. But we could still get, even if we top deck like a Whale Lord right now, we could attach to that Research. And if we just get a switch, we can go with Draw Up. And actually, that would be fine. So top deck Whale Lord or Quick Ball here would be pretty good, actually. I'd be down with that. Frostmoth isn't bad. No, like I said, though, no Whale Lord to go with all this energy, though. I want to attach one here and then Research. Oh, it feels so bad to lose so many energy. But gotta let him go in this situation. Not the kind of draw we're looking for. I'm going to throw down this Whale Lord. We're going to load it up with some energy. And then we're set up on the next turn to be able to attack. We'll even use draw up in the active Whale Lord, even though it's probably going to go down here. We'll still draw up there. But we are very low on energy now. Actually, I don't even know if we have enough energy to attack with a third Whale Lord at this point. We've really lost a ton of energy here. But we can always draw up with the Whale Lord, and that can always be our way to set up another Whale Lord. We still have this one water energy, and we still have a retrieval left, so we can always just like attach one energy, and then be like use draw up, and then we have another Whale Lord set up ready to go. We play like pretty much just enough energy to consistently usually set up 3 Whale Lord. We play 10 water plus 2 retrieval, so that's like theoretically 14 water, but usually we lose something in the mix as we go through the game, whether that be a couple water or a retrieval or something like that. We lose something along the way usually, which means we don't actually get to set up or we don't actually get access to 14 energy. We more roughly get access to around 12. So we usually get access to around 12 energy per game with this lineup here, which is enough to set up 3 Whale Lords, which is usually all we want to do. So I'm not going to play Marnie here because my opponent did only just get prize cards. And there's the double heads. Don't even need the Glimwood. Take the knockout here. Oh, they did have the Rugged Helmet there, though. So I maybe should have attached the extra energy onto my Whale Lord. I think that was definitely a misstep there from me. Should have attached the extra energy to the Whale Lord, because now that the Rugged Helmet happened, if they play a Yell Grunt or a Crushing Hammer, I can't attack with this Whale Lord from the active anymore. And I'm going to need something else to make it attack. And here comes a Marnie, which means my 2 energy are going to the bottom of the deck. I guess I still have 2 bucket and the retrieval left, so it is possible. And there's the bucket, so I might just end up being fine here, but definitely should have attached it. Therefore, there's no reason to have not, to be honest. No reason to have not attached it there. So definitely a misstep on my part. Okay, here comes their Victini VMAX. They got the Spreading Flames this turn. I don't see a Crushing Hammer yet. No Crushing Hammer. So we're in the clear on that. Just the Spreading Flames. And yeah, here we go. Gonna use the bucket, get the water energy back. Throw this down, attach active, use the Ice Dance to the bench one. Gonna play the Research, not the Marnie, because they didn't have Crushing Hammer in the hand before, so I don't think there's any reason to give them more outs to it. Play a Level Ball, grab a Snom. I'm actually even gonna Quick Ball away this Snom to grab another Snom, and then I'll throw that Snom down to maybe make into a Frostmoth later on. There's that Retrieval I was talking about that we still have access to. Just gonna go some Ocean Waves. We don't have any draw support in hand. But I'm definitely going to reflip here. We're looking for the double heads. There we go. Knock out the VMAX. I was going to talk a little bit further about, like, we don't have a way, like, if they put down another Path to the Peak there, we don't have any draw support, but, like, I don't want to use this Crobat that aggressively. I feel like we have plenty of time with our current setup to be able to get out of any kind of situation like that. And hey, that works right there. If we just knock it out, we just get the dub. And that's going to do it for the games with the Whale Lord V. Like I said, one of my favorite decks to just kind of mess around with and play on BDCGO, because even though it is a little bit of a meme, a little bit of a gimmick with the coin flips, you can really beat pretty much anything in the format, and it's just a ton of fun to play, and sometimes get triple heads on the Ocean Waves. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you're enjoying the content and you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.